That'll be $10,428.22.
I don't have any money.
Why didn't you tell me that?
Hello everyone, so this is an introduction to the free computer build challenge. As I mentioned in another video about this one, people have been giving me free computers rather than throwing them out, and usually they're missing hard drives or something, but they work. And usually what I'll do is I'll throw a hard drive in there, some extra memory, clean it up, and sell it. But I think what would be fun to do is actually build a free computer to try to play games, and then take that computer, keep it, and continue to upgrade it as we get better parts. So this is an example of 3 free computers. Usually you get these pre-built ones that don't do much. You will get a lot of Dells. I actually used a computer like this before. I got lucky on this one. This was actually a built computer that was free, and then some random hard drives and some memory that were pulled from other free computers. So usually what you do is you get a free computer, and then you go buy a GPU, and then you buy a SSD and more memory, and there's your gaming computer. But what I'm going to try to do in this case is not buy anything. So I think that'll be more fun. The title of this build will be called Free Bee, like Bumblebee. So we're not going to use these because there's no upgrade path. So in order to complete the build, like I said, we have to use these parts. So we have, there's 8 gigs there. One of these hard drives. I actually did receive a free SSD, but I'm not going to count that one since it's not here. I would have to, in order to make this a completely free build, is sell one of these hard drives, use that money to buy an SSD, and then that way it still becomes free, right? To play this game, that's how we're going to do it. The GPU, I have some free ones. I remember I received a free one. It was a 2 gigabyte Radeon something 6700, but the fan was very loud. So I think I'm gonna have to rock without GPU for now. But we're starting with a Pentium G2030. There's no heatsink, so I have to find one somewhere. Power supply is okay, 350. Now I could also sell this board, right? Use that money to buy a different board, or put in like one of these Dell optiplex boards if it would fit, and it would still be free. Now if I sold this and put in another free motherboard, maybe even a slower one, and use that money to buy the GPU, the system would actually be better. So I'm gonna make some decisions. I know that this one, I should be able to sell that, right? At least for 20 or 30 bucks. That'll buy an SSD. Or sell this. I might wanna have like a small SSD and a big storage drive. I think that would be interesting also. So there we go, $0 budget gaming system. This will evolve over time, and we'll see what we end up with. I'm probably gonna keep this case because I can't sell it with no. So we're back with the freebie build. This is gonna be episode 2 or 1.5, I'm not sure. So what I want to do now is I want to try and lay the ground rules for this build, because I want to be able to have other people have like a competition of see who can build the best computer out of free stuff, which is this. And originally what I was going to do was just use stuff that I had laying around, but I think that's kind of not fair, because what if you have $10,000 worth of stuff just laying around, and then you would obviously build a better computer. So I think, and you can comment below and let me know what you think, I think it should be only things that you get free after you document or start documenting the build, meaning you can't use free stuff you had before unless you exactly know where it came from. So that's the free tower that I posted in the first video. There's no heatsink, and I have a heatsink in another computer that I bought, but I don't want to use that because that's cheating. And I have the optiplex, which was free. So this is the heatsink from the optiplex. So we're going to try and finagle this in there. The fan connector is different, but this should fit here. I have to put the Dell backplate on there too. So that'll solve the heatsink problem. So we'll get up and running. Just to recap what we had, this 500 gigabyte laptop hard drive was actually in this optiplex, or maybe the other one. It was in one of the free ones. So that was definitely free. The 2 terabyte hard drive came from somewhere free. I've received many free computers, and I know it was free because I would not buy a 2 terabyte hard drive ever. So I think that qualifies, even though it was a while back. And this is Dell memory from either this optiplex or the other one. I was going to use the nicer memory that I had on hand, but I don't exactly know where it came from, so I disqualified that. So this is just wait, no, this is the newer one. I don't know where this, there's no budget for anything if everything's free. This is a free GPU from somewhere, and I don't think anybody's going to complain about this because look at it. So we'll start there. So we have the Pentium chip. Probably I was going to swap this i5 in, but it's a 2nd gen. I'm not sure if that'll work. If it'll work, I'll swap that in because this was a free computer. I do have another free optiplex that has an i5 3rd gen that I might take. But I'm kind of curious. I've never actually used just a regular Pentium. So I think I should just leave that in there for now. And then I'll just swap it out later. Anyone else want to participate in the challenge? I'll put a link to it, maybe a Twitter feed or something. And for now, we'll do maybe another challenge of just spare parts. But so everything in the build has to be free, and you have to actually document you picking it up for free, or something that you for sure know was free maybe a few months ago, and explain it. So you can't go to your friend's house and say that you got an RTX 3000 series graphics card for free, because that's not true. But this is just, you know, old. Okay, well, that was not fun. I thought that I could use the Dell backplate here, but see, these things that go through the board don't go through this board. So when I started bolting it up, and the whole motherboard was bending, and I go, what the, and yeah, that's not gonna work. So Okay, so this was not technically free, even though I took it from another computer. We'll just call this $10, so I will be negative $10 on the build, so I have to sell something for $10 in order to pay for this. But I have to put something here or else I can't even start the system and boot it up and see what's going on. So my bad. Anyway, I'm sure you can get these for free all over the place or less than $10. But yeah, don't try to put a Dell fan on an aftermarket motherboard. Okay, back to testing. I'm running now. Finally, I had a few issues, as you saw, the CPU fan failure. I had to use the stock one I borrowed from another computer. The mystery graphics card is working. I put this memory in it, the one I showed you earlier. It wouldn't boot. I'm not sure why. It's possibly because it's 1066. I don't know. So I just have the 4 gig 1333 that it came with in there. And it's on. And we're booting from the free laptop hard drive. It's a 160 gig, 2 terabytes in there, just hanging out.